Hello and welcome to Baluli Wildlife Cam. Had a lion roadblock early one evening just after sunset. I'd been past there about 20 minutes before and there was nothing in the road, and then on the way back there they all were, but they were starting to hunt, so they didn't hang around for long. And this was quite close to where we are, close to the four ways, but that's about as close as the lions got to us this week. There were 11 of them here, with the smallest cubs we have at the moment. I think they're more than 6 months old now. The little guy at the back there is missing the tip of his tail, so assuming he survives, he'll be easy to identify. Now that it's drying out again, the civets are coming back almost every night, sometimes more than once a night. The hammerkop's in a bit of a noisy mood. I think we've had more bushbuck here in the last few weeks at the waterhole than we've had in all the years that I've been here before that. Of all the antelopes, these are the ones most likely to become accustomed to humans. People who don't have fences will often find them taking up residence in their garden, and in the Kruger Park most of the rest camps will have little herds of bushbuck, perfectly tame, wandering around. They were very interested in something, but there was nothing that appeared on the camera before this that showed why they were so fascinated by this part of the waterhole. The trail camera is getting a lot more action now that it's getting drier, so it seems to be a dry season area. Not the best footage, unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure that little guy in the bottom left is a Meller's mongoose. They have a dark tail which distinguishes them from the white-tailed mongoose. I think magnificent is the most common adjective used when describing male kudu. I've been rethinking the name Daisy for this leopard. I mean, that was more of a sort of a throwaway placeholder name until I came up with something better. So I tried to think of something that gave her a bit more gravitas. Now this footage is from last year. I just decided to throw this in here while I ramble. So I tried to look up various African goddesses and queens, and unfortunately a lot of them aren't really that easy on the tongue. Most of the Egyptian ones are really awkward to say. There was one reasonable one called Seishat, but unfortunately it has the word shat in it. So I've narrowed it down to 3. Freya, the Norse goddess. I know it has nothing to do with Africa, but it's a nice sounding name, and she rode on a chariot pulled by a couple of cats, so it's vaguely appropriate. Then there's Naya, which is a name that snake nerds will know because it's the Latin name for cobras, which has its own appeal, and it does seem to have a variety of meanings, including powerful and successful, and also a boy's younger sister, which is oddly specific. And then there's Nala, which is more appropriate for lions, but it's a sweet name and rolls off the tongue. I wanted something fairly simple and easy to say. So what I'm going to do is let people in the comments, if you care and want to post which one you like. I'll choose the most popular one, or if someone comes up with an absolute banger of a name, I'll use that, and hopefully she comes back again at some point, otherwise the whole naming thing will have been completely wasted. Baboons are always interesting to watch. Lots of little relationship dynamics going on in the troop. Luckily this troop that visits our waterhole is very shy. They don't like people at all, so they don't break into houses and harass people like some of the troops on other parts of the property do. He doesn't often attack your waterhole camera, but here we go. Found this chameleon walking across our deck. Now there are a lot of chameleons in the area, but we very rarely get them in the garden, so that was a treat. I just put him on the bird bath here for the camera, but he was a bit exposed there. There's lots of birds that would eat a chameleon, so I took him and put him in some bushes where he could disappear in peace. No rain lately, so unusual to see a snail crawling up the wall. Not a good place for a snail to be once the sun comes up and it gets warm. If it's 2 meters up the wall, it could be in trouble, so I moved it down into the undergrowth. And the surprise inside this cooler box is a baby Mozambique spitting cobra, found in our garden again. Feisty little creatures. There have to be so many things that eat them, they've got to put on a show to try and repel any predators. And you can see it's spitting at me. Disappears a bit too quickly for me to catch on the camera. You just see its tail, off it goes. And that odd sound is the sound made by the male warthog. That's his courtship sound. There was some sort of centipede conference going on up at the garage. There were 3 of them. I think this one was going after termites, and there it's grabbing one off its body. And there were also a few ants around, also probably going for the termites. Thanks for watching.